Hi guys, welcome to 2 weeks at a time, which is my life as a filmmaker over the last 2 weeks and the lessons that I've learned. So in contrast to the last episode, I only actually had one physical shoot on site in the past 2 weeks, which seems crazy. I was so busy on the last episode and now it seems to have died a death. However, that has been to my benefit. So I had a couple of cancellations due to the weather, and unfortunately that's just the nature of the beast. When you're working in filmmaking, you need good weather to shoot. But luckily I had an impromptu shoot crop up. It was from product photography for a client I've done lots of work for previously, so I went and shot that in half a day. Other than that, I've had my usual podcast editing and filming these YouTube videos, which I'm actually trying to batch now to try and save me time. And then the thing that I've been most focused on is my new course. So you will get some ramblers, and I'm not talking about people that like windy walks and pick blackberries. That's people that go on and on and on. My mini course is a free course for businesses where they can go through the different types of videos that can be useful in their business. Now, let's not get this twisted. It is a marketing effort. So I'm giving this away for free in the hope that I gain business from it. The idea is that I give people inspiration, I give them tips, and then at the end of that, they know and trust me and they decide that I'm the person that's going to implement that for them. So I've marketed this course to my organic reach, which is Facebook, Instagram, and people that I've previously been in touch with. So all in all, currently I've got about 8 people on that mini course, which is fine for organic reach, I think. And the next step is to then push that out using paid ads. So this is kind of a test bed, see how well it converts, see if people find it useful, whether I can improve it for when I then run paid ads to it. So I can't take all the credit for this, and this actually leads me into the first tip, because I hired a business coach, and that might seem crazy, and a couple of years ago I would have kind of felt very weird about paying someone else to teach me about business, because it's kind of an ego thing. You know, everyone thinks that they are the best businessman or woman in the world, and over the past kind of couple of years I've realized that, you know, I know as little about business as anyone else, and it's a very hard task to think that you can just run a business and know all about everything that gets thrown at a business owner. So the first tip is to get help. You don't actually have to pay for a coach like I did, but get help. Ask people for help. Ask people that you think are better than you in certain areas. Take your favorite football player, for example. They have a manager for one, they'll have a nutritionist, they'll have strength and conditioning coach, they'll have physio, finance, you know, you name it. They'll have hundreds of different coaches, and what that says to me is that the best people in the world get help. So my first, I would say, I never called it a mentor, but someone that I looked up to and helped me a lot when I first started was a guy called Rupert, and he got introduced to me actually by my girlfriend, and he was filming their work conference, and she convinced him that if I came along I could just help, maybe carry bags. I was willing to kind of make cups of tea, anything like that. And he has really helped me over the past few years. He's in a position where he is 5-10 years down the line from me, and if I can just ask a simple question and I can shortcut all those mistakes, then that can only be a good thing. And I've since, got additional work from them, and even I just got the knowledge, not the work, it would still be a valuable relationship. So why did I hire a coach? I've been listening to podcasts, audiobooks for years now, and my mindset is constantly changing. And the thing that hit me was, you can generate more money, but you can never generate more time. So if you can pay money to make a shortcut in time, why wouldn't you? If someone came to you and said, I will give you all the lessons that you're going to learn in the next 10 years of mistakes and pay me £5,000. To me, that seems like a phenomenal trade. And the fact that you spent, say, £5,000 on something like this, you might earn 10, 15, 20, £100,000 from that knowledge. And you've also saved yourself 5 to 10 years' time. To me, that just seems like a no-brainer. So I've been working with the coaches. I won't say who it is just yet because I haven't actually finished the program, and I'm going to do a proper review on it at the end. So that's my tip 1. Like I say, you don't have to hire someone, but just ask for help in the areas you're weak in. Tip number 2 is to save for a rainy day. That sounds boring, I know. But, if you look at the past 2 weeks for me, I haven't had a lot of physical shoots. Yes, I've had income coming in from things like retainers and things like that. But ultimately what makes me less stressed about that situation is the fact that I've saved for a rainy day. You can almost guarantee, being self-employed, whether that's a filmmaker or another creative, you will have weeks, even months, where you are much slower than normal. And if you continue to spend like you're in those good months, then it's all going to come unstuck potentially. So I think you should invest in your business. As I say, I invested in a business course, but I also think you should diversify your investments. So whether that's stocks and shares, Bitcoin, ISAs, all different things you can diversify your income in, so that if one is underperforming, the other one is propping it up. Now, I'm not at the stage where my investments are outmatching my spending. That's a long way to go. So the idea is, as time goes on, the investments will also go up and the pressure is taken off even more. Now, I know this is hard. So when you initially start, you might think, I haven't got any profit at all, I haven't got anything to invest, or I'm literally spending every last penny on bills. But even the slightest savings make the difference. So, future Rob here, the one that's editing what you've just watched. And when you think you finished a project and your Zoom recorder just decides to stop working? Yeah, so that's what happened. I wasn't at all angry about it. Did you record that, did you? But it's just disappointing for you guys, because the next tip that I was going to share was how I made like 100 grand in about 10 minutes. So it's just really, I'm just upset for you guys really. So never mind. But anyway, if you want to find out what I'm doing 2 weeks at a time, tune into the next episode, which will be in 2 weeks. And I will see you next week on another video. See you then. Cheers.